I said indict, convict, send that killer cop to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as I said indict.
I want you and Fox News to get out of Baltimore City because you're not here reporting about the boarded up homes and the homeless people under MLK. You're not reporting about the poverty levels up and down North Avenue. Exactly. 2 years ago, when the 300-man march, we marched from the top of Hilton to from Hilton and North to Milton and North, you weren't here, but you're here for the black riots.
You know why black people so mad? Cause most of y'all ain't, so I'm pretty uppity. I don't know a cracker born yet with the luxury to fuck with me. Skymatic, static, and pragmatics. Only 1% is from a mathematics problematic. How many caps can they put in our backs? How many phones have to catch blacks killed by the batch? How many cutbacks can they enact? How many bombs can they drop where civilians be at? Nah, this is Molotovs and a mask rap on American cans and tear gas tracks. And another non-profit won't stop it. Pimping poverty to make some grant money off it. Nah, people got nothing to lose. Lead story 11 o'clock news, and it's like that. Fuck what you heard. They protect killer cops cause they will get served, and it's like that. I ain't taking it back cause it ain't where you're from, it's where you at. Where's B-More at? Where's Brooklyn at? Where's Gaza? Where's Cleveland? Where's Ferguson at? And it's like that. Better get off the fence. Demonstrate, legislate a bill, self-defense. Man, fuck these cops, fuck CNN, we run these blocks. Snap a voice box and we'll speak with rocks. It shouldn't take it this long to connect these dots, yo. They don't even see us. How long it take for them to bother to deceive us? This ain't the first Freddy Gray to come between us. It's the last one they'll forget, and you could take that to Jesus. I put that on my people in the streets. From the leaders to the project, to the blocks, to the priests, to the medics, to the coalitions out fighting the beast. The Bloods and the Crips came together for a peace. You could take 6 pigs and put them in a line. Catch them on a cell phone cause they think they can rhyme. Let them battle the people and reap that lethal design. And that's all 6 swine charged at the same time. And it's like that. Fuck what you heard. They protect killer cops cause they will get served, and it's like that. I ain't taking it back cause it ain't where you're from, it's where you at. Where's B-More at? Where's Brooklyn at? Where's Gaza? Where's Cleveland? Where's Ferguson at? And it's like that. Better get off the fence. Demonstrate, legislate a bill, self-defense. America made me a nigga, but Ferguson reframed the picture. It's the truth, pure light in the booth. The x-rays displayed, no flesh in the proofs. Science it defines, baptizing the youth. Here to resurrect the dead without heads, feds can shoot wild. America made me a nigga, but Baltimore reframed the picture. Broken neck dialect spoken from the beyond. Phoenix from the ashes, spitting classics at the seance. Cadence in the chaos, prophets in the layoffs. Rhythms of division amplified for the payoffs. America made me a nigga, but Palestine reframed the picture. Cordis Haiti in the 1780s, pre-intifada, Ramallah, Oquivada, and Guatemala. Not the gangster version of commercials for vodka, where each single is a jingle helping prisons to prosper. Nah, America made me a nigga, and then we reframed the picture.
We need to, as a community, police the police because they cannot police themselves.
And it's like that.
My name's Dominique Stevenson. I'm the program director for A Friend of a Friend in Baltimore. My vision for the city is really self-determination for people of African descent, for everyone, but pretty much for my community, which is people of African descent. I want people to be able to reclaim their communities. I want people to reclaim the spaces. I want to change the quality of life for children, for elders, for all of us. I want to see things really change on a grand scale. I want to see an end to the poverty, the suffering, the drug addiction, all of those things, that have traditionally been harmful to our community. I work with men in prison. That's always been probably where my heart is. It's hard, but that has been where my heart is with this work, is working with brothers inside of the prison system to transform their lives, and then working with some of them as they come out into the community to transform the community. And so through that work, we began simply handing out bag lunches at Gilmore Homes probably 3 years ago with a few of the brothers. And from that point, it's evolved into basically taking over a house from the city, occupying that house, and stepping up the community work. So providing food and other services, creating a farm, just creating a space in the community where people can gather and feel good.
That's what's up. Thank you.
I just want to start by saying we're out every week, and more than that, we're out basically trying to save lives and end this ugly police brutality that's happening all around the world, not just in Baltimore. After the untimely, brutal homicide, murder, execution of our beloved Tyrone West, we've been out here now for 3 years. And we started something the very next week following my brother's brutal homicide. We started West Wednesday to where as though we reach out and we go various places in the city, and then we even travel around the world. But for the most part, we're trying to uplift my brother's name and all the victims of police brutality, because we learned that with my brother, it didn't start with my brother Tyrone West, and the saddest thing, it don't end with my brother Tyrone West. So we do what we do to save lives. And we're trying to change things from Annapolis to Baltimore, just changing things and to let them know you're not going to kill our loved one and we just walk away. That's not going to happen. When you killed Tyrone West, you killed the wrong man, like my little cousin said, but you truly have the right family, a family of warrior females that will fight you toe to toe. And it ain't just females in my family, but the females are on the front line going toe to toe with y'all, and we not playing with y'all. Until you come back and those killer cops are in South Blocks, we don't have no rap.
So, with the murder of my cousin, it moved me to find my own voice in this movement. It moved me to create an event called Come Together Community Building Fridays, and it's hosted at Red Emma's. It's supposed to be on a monthly basis, but it's most of the time it's bi-monthly, where it promotes unity and it promotes different organizations in Baltimore and gives them a platform to state who they are, what they do, and how the community can get involved. I like to give a voice to organizations that are doing good work that we may not hear about, but that exist and that do the work that a lot of times we don't see, but that change the lives of people every day. That's really where I'm at, creating as much unity and empowerment as possible in the city. Really just creating an infrastructure that empowers us and gets us out of that mindset where we have to look for a handout before we're empowered, where we can do it on our own with each other's help.
That's what's up. Thank you so much. Can I get a hug?
Yes. Jump over there, buddy. Thank you.
Dev Rock, Minister of Culture for Leaders of a Beautiful Struggle. One of the businesses I run, social entrepreneurship, Be More Strong. We print anything important for any of your businesses, any of the work that you do. We put your brand on any clothing. We also print all the CDs for independent artists in the community. And Dev Rock, RBG, as an artist, what the vision I see is independent artists becoming small businesses and taking a important social stance in their artistry as they make it their business as well. And that brother, Son of None, definitely represents that. And that's a part of my vision and the importance of correcting the issues that we have in Baltimore and in America. Dev Rock.
Oh, that's what's up. Thanks for coming through.
No doubt, man.
My name is Krista Daring. I'm a street medic. I've been a street medic for 10 years. Part of what I do is provide material and tangible medical support to and education to people in Baltimore, harm reduction, providing naloxone, the overdose reversal drug, and really trying to spread out medical knowledge and distance that from the state, which sort of locks that in. My vision for Baltimore is sustainable communities that can support themselves without police or any involvement from the state at all, and provide their own medical, health, and everything on their own.
Oh, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
No doubt.
Yeah, my name is Namdi Scott. I'm with the Ujima People's Progress Party, Maryland's first black independent party for social justice. We've been working around projects like a living wage in this city, being able to make sure that anybody that works has doesn't have a slave wage, a poverty wage. We're also working with communities to help grow food so that people can eat and be self-sustaining. We really believe that working black people need to have control of their own communities and take care of themselves, man. That's what's up. All right, brother. Yes.
I'm Jared Ball. I'm a father, I'm a husband. I teach at Morgan State, Media Studies and Africana Studies. And my goal there, as is everywhere else, is to remind people of the radical traditions that can continue to inform the logic of today. So some of the concrete things, I mean, I've worked with the Malcolm X grassroots movement. I try in many ways to support any number of different radical formations, including the Green Party to a certain extent that electoral politics is of value. And then I try to support and develop independent, autonomous, underground, and very radical media. So with projects, whether it's mixtape radio or alternative broadcasting on and offline, or building with people in the community, that's how I, try to support.
And how can people find out about those underground, the projects that you make when you put them out? Give them the website?
Well, the website is imixwhatilike.org and at imixwhatilike through all your relevant social media. But then a lot of it we encourage to be done offline and off record too. So in that regard, we encourage people to just follow a certain model and do it where they are in their space with their communities, to try to replicate that sort of radical production of a radical consciousness to inspire radical political organization and movements. So that's what's up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
No, thank you. All right.
PFK Bone, been in Baltimore, 42 years on the ground in Murdica. The vision that we got for Baltimore is more, of course, like I said, hold accountability as well as empowerment on our own. Of course, buying back the black, which is our own empowerment, buying back our schools, controlling our own economics, with, of course, each and every citizen holding some type of life-living wage instead of like jobs, not careers, holding more entrepreneurship, and of course, all of us, not just unity, but holding respect for one another. And saying that we got some programs like for our youth, which is culinary art process, meaning what we're trying to do is teach our kids life skills through the culinary art process. As you'll see, Chef Stu, a brother that we have who's from Baltimore, is bringing his actual, how a lot of athletes are being challenged to bring their skills back to the community. But Chef Stu is the person who's bringing his talents back to the culinary process to our kids, vulnerable youth. Yes, it is free, but what is going to be the actual power is going to be in the people to make it free for our babies. We are all coming together to put our minds and money together to make it free for our babies. So many people throughout the United States, as well as Baltimore, many different tribe boroughs outside of the country has come together to make sure that this project become a success.
All right, peace, fam. My name is Asar Mesh Amin, and what I do here is I teach urban organic farming and gardening to the youth, to the adults here. We teach hands-on skills here, like vocational skills, carpentry skills, everything that's involved in building an actual garden, from putting together the raised beds to collecting your own water. Work here with a friend of a friend organization. This is part of the 1619 Coalition, and we're here at Tubman House. This is Tubman House here behind us. This is a house that we utilize for the community. It's a community meeting center, and we took this empty lot here that was filled with trash, took the trash out, built raised beds, brought in good compost, and the youth in the community and adults and members in the community came here, and we started cultivating the land here, to get more food sovereignty, to educate people about health and wellness and how to use foods that you can grow yourself. So this here is a institution that we built, and it's a living classroom. And some of the things we've been doing here is we ran a program here 3 days a week where we had the youth here, and we taught them not only how to grow food, but how to prepare it, how to take it from soil to plate, how to preserve things. They made pickles, they made juices, smoothies, they stir-fried food here. We have everything growing here from watermelon, okra, squash, tomatoes, basil, cayenne pepper, cotton. We have medicinal herbs here in the back, goldenrod. It's a whole host of things here. Cantaloupe, cabbage, collards, greens, flowers that are used for pollination, and sunflowers. So it's a lot going on here in this little space, and this is our first year, and we're gonna have a lot more going on here. This is just one of the many urban gardens that are here in Baltimore. But this one here is run by the people, run by the community here at Gilmore Homes, the 1619 Coalition. The goal here is to educate people, to empower people through health and wellness, and through this skill of getting back to the land, learning how to grow food. So the overall vision is to expand this so that everywhere people go within a block all around this area here, people can come here and get fresh food. To expand this where they can grab some sort of fresh food or herbs all year round. You know, that is the goal. This is just one aspect of it. It's very important to have an institution that's built around food because everybody has to eat. Food, clothes, and shelter is some of the basics. So that's what we focus here at Tubman House, the 1619 Coalition, a friend of a friend. They good? Yeah.
Well, my name is Lady Breon. I'm an independent spoken word artist. I'm also a curator of culture for Leaders of a Beautiful Struggle, which is a grassroots think tank here in Baltimore. And, you know, we work on making legislative change to better the material conditions of Black people in Baltimore. And so the things that we do to make that better is we go and we do lobbying in Annapolis, and we work with different organizations around Baltimore to help push the actions that they're doing. We have a camp that we do every summer, the Eddie Conway Liberation Institute, that's training up young people to continue the work that we started. And so, you know, we do a lot of stuff on the ground just to make sure that Baltimore can be a better place.
Oh, that's what's up. Thanks so much.
My name is Heber Brown. I pastor the Pleasant Hope Baptist Church in North Baltimore. Also part of and founder of Aretas Cross Freedom School and the Black Church Food Security Network. A part of my vision for Baltimore is one where local communities are in control of the dynamics and the politics of their own communities. I'm not saying anything new. I'm saying what our ancestors and elders have always been fighting for and struggling for and speaking to as well, in terms of controlling the politics of our own communities, and in the spirit of self-determination, laying out the particulars of how that shows up. So everything from the police to job opportunities to education to food, local communities should be in control of that and speaking to that and framing the vision of how that should be for them. And so in terms of how I'm attempting to do that concretely, one of the long-standing critiques I have in terms of a systemic critique is with the American public education system. It's not preparing, in my opinion, young people, and particularly Black youth, to step into the fullness of who I believe the Almighty created them to be. Rather, Black youth are being prepared, conditioned, socialized to be cogs in the wheel of racism, white supremacy, and to serve systems that continue to oppress their own communities. And so because I have that critique, I try to not only have a critique of what is, but also to create what should be. Aretas Cross Freedom School is an African-centered education program where young people come from all over the city. When public school is closed, Freedom School is open. And when they come to Freedom School, which is housed at Pleasant Hope Baptist Church, they get an education that centers their experience, centers the wisdom of their own ancestors. We study African spiritual systems, we study African heritage, we study Black history, and also we study the problems of the world, because I believe that 6, 7, 8, and 9-year-olds have something to say about what's going on in our communities, and not only something to say, but they have gifts and genius that can be applied to the problems of today as well. And so the Freedom School, right in the spirit of the Freedom Schools of the 1950s and 60s, we're bringing Freedom Schools back. We have brought them back, and they're operational in Baltimore and around the country right now, raising the next generation of change makers. Quickly, the second thing I'm doing is we have a saying at our Freedom School, we say, whoever controls the food controls the people. We have a whole song about that at our Freedom School. And so on the critique of food, we recognize that multinational corporations like Monsanto and others, they are poisoning our communities, poisoning our waterways, poisoning nature. And Communities all over the world are impacted by the decisions that these multinational corporations are making. Sometimes the decisions they make are in the name of helping us, but it ain't helping us, it's poisoning us. And so to invite people to get closer to their food sources, the Black Church Food Security Network partners with black farmers to create an alternative food system controlled by local people to bring food straight to the sanctuary. So we go from soil to sanctuary, pipelining fresh food from Maryland's Eastern Shore to churches all over the city of Baltimore. And then I talk to a lot of my pastor colleagues as well. Churches own a lot of land, you know that. Churches own a lot of land. And what I talk to them about is utilizing the land that they have to grow food on the land that's already within their inventory. So instead of going down and begging City Hall for anything, instead of begging corporations for anything, what do we already have? In the spirit of self-determination, what can we do for ourselves? And so just in those two ways, those are the lanes that I feel particularly called to, education and food. And I'm thankful for all the others who I'm blessed to be shoulder to shoulder with in the city, including yourself, who in your own respective lanes, all of us have a little piece of creating, I think, a bigger, better, and brighter future for the city, but also a bigger, better, and brighter right now, too.
Right on. Thanks so much for coming through. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's a wrap.
My name is Eddie Conway, and my vision for the city is for people to come together and work together and use the resources available to the city to take care of our communities, to protect our children, to be in the position to determine our destiny, and to try to help build with other cities and other communities a better world. Well, right now I'm doing several things. One is I work for the Real News, so I am trying to tell the people stories and give people information that's based on their environment and the conditions that they live in, and try to help give them ideas and solutions of how they can deal with some of the things they're faced with. But I'm also working down in the community. I work with the American Friends Service Committee, I work with the Friends of a Friend, and I work with the Tudman House down in Gilmore Homes. And we try to give the young people down there some other choices and some other opportunities. We try to bring them resources. We try to bring them education and skill sets. And we try to help people in the community mend the community and build a stronger community that eventually will empower their community to help empower the city.
Killer cops cause they will get served, and it's like that. I ain't taking it back cause it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. Where's Seymour at? Where's Brooklyn at? Where's Gaza? Where's Cleveland? Where's Ferguson at?